Hello and welcome to the Team Tickers channel. Today we're going to talk about the Christopher Ward 12. And with me is Sam from Casual Watch Review to help me do that. Hello, Sam.
Hey, John. You've been keeping the public waiting for your thoughts on the 12. I think we've all had a go at reviewing it, but now's your chance. I know you've been asked about it. You finally got hold of it after they gave it you and then made you send it back. But so yeah,
yes.
I'm interested to know what you think.
Yeah, I've had it about a week now, and I've had it on the wrist. It's pretty good actually. I quite like it. It's full of scratches because it's been around the place, and it's titanium, so it scratches easily. But overall, with integrated bracelet and everything, I'm quite impressed with it. It's quite nice. So I've got the purple one here, and you had a light blue one, didn't you?
Yeah, I had the one that I think most people liken to the Chapek on Tartique. I had it was the light blue dialed version, stainless steel, so it had the Sellita SW200 in it. For me, I didn't love the dial, although I've heard from Christopher Ward that it's actually one of their biggest selling ones is this lighter blue dial.
Right.
For me, it just looked a little bit too blingy. I actually am interested in seeing a darker dial like you had. You had the purple one.
Yeah, the purple, yeah, with the SW300, which is the cost certified one.
So what does it look like? What was your thought on the purple dial and also the gradient as well? Because I think it's quite hard to judge from the website what the gradient is like.
Yeah, I really like it. It seems to pop. That purple is a really nice. I'm not really into purple watches. Like I'm not really into green watches, but the purple is really really nice. And I said I don't think the like the waffle style, whatever you say on the dial. I don't think it's overbearing. It's quite nice, and it catches at a certain angle. You can see it, and I'm quite impressed with it actually.
Yeah, if you've not seen it in person, the embossing on the dial, which is supposed to be the English and Swiss flag embossed on the dial, their logo, I was surprised about how deep the embossing was. I thought it was going to be more surface level, but it's quite deep on the dial, isn't it?
Yeah.
The way they've done it.
It is, but it's not overpowering to me. I think it's just quite nice. It makes it just look really, really nice. It makes the watch look quite classy. I think it looks definitely more expensive than what it is. If somebody didn't know what it was and how much it was, I think they'd be quite surprised on the price if I told them. Definitely.
Yeah, I actually totally agree with you because I was lucky enough to also review a PRX. I didn't have them both at the same time, although Watch Chris at Watch Chris channel, he did compare them side by side. And I think because I've had a few comments on my video, people saying, "Oh, the PRX is cheaper," or "I'd go with the PRX." But I think even though they look similar, and I even likened them to be most similar to the PRX, but it's really the PRX dialed up to 11. The movement's better. The fit and finishing of the case is better as well. You've seen the PRX as well, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Yeah, and it definitely is. I mean that integrated brakes. I mean, it would look very nice on the rubber, but I think if you didn't buy the titanium or the steel bracelet, the integrated bracelet with the butterfly clasp, if you didn't buy that, you'd be cheating yourself. Because I think it's brilliant. That bracelet is really really nice with this butterfly clasp as well. It looks very very classy, 100%. Definitely.
Yeah, I totally agree. I haven't seen the rubber strap, but I know from other Christopher Wards I've had with rubber straps, they do an excellent job, but you should definitely buy it on the bracelet. The bracelet completes the look, and then buy the rubber strap afterwards, either at the same time or buy it secondary. But I would 100% buy this on the bracelet if you can afford it, because it does complete the look, and the bracelet is its own thing, isn't it, with the screw and end links? Yeah. It's got the butterfly clasp. With did you adjust yours, or?
No, I didn't have to. It's, when I got it the first time, it fitted me, and the extra links were in the box. This time there were no links in the box, but it fitted me perfectly. I think it was the same watch that I got back. Yeah, it just happened to fit me okay. Which is but I know that you adjusted yours, and it was very easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I adjusted mine quite easily for I've got a 7.2-inch wrist. So I managed to adjust it using the half links and I got a really good fit on it. And it's also I really like the size, the 40 mil, but it seems visually larger than 40 mil. But what size is your wrist and how
It's
did it
about
work?
just over about 7.5. It's about 7.5. And there we go. Yeah, it just seems to fit it perfectly. Yeah, and it's very slim as well. You see by the thickness of the case here, it's very very slim, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I was amazed. I think it's less than 9 millimeters thick, isn't it? The titanium
Yes.
version. I think the steel version is slightly bigger, but not by a lot. But I've only seen the steel. I only had the steel version. I haven't seen the titanium yet. But I was amazed about how thin it was. It's thinner than the. I know I'm liking it to the PRX. It's probably not doing it justice, but I was surprised at how thin and wearable it was, and how I think it looks a lot more sporty than it does dress watch. If anybody's
Yeah.
concerned about that, I think it does look sporty. I presume the titanium's the same, is it?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And you do say you compare it to PRX, but it's its closest. There is its closest rival. There aren't a lot of watches out there this price range or below which do have this style with an integrated bracelet. There aren't many. You're talking to big money otherwise. So I would say that probably PRX is its nearest rival, and this this is definitely ups it over the PRX, 100%. It's only the
Yeah,
style of watch that you compare them. The finish you can't do because the Christopher Ward is a lot better. Is a lot better finished.
yeah, and it gets its name from the bezel, doesn't it? The 12-sided bezel or 12
12-sided bezel. That's correct. Yes.
Yeah, and the polishing and the brushing on the steel version was excellent. What's it like on the titanium?
It's the same on this as well. It's really nice. Yeah, it's really nice polishing on it. And I like the range. I like the range of colours to go from different kind of blues to the white to the black. And then of course you've got the options of the rubber strap, and you can if you got like a blue dial, you can have a blue rubber strap as well. Yeah, it's pretty good. This watch is going to be a big seller for them. I think they're gonna put different colours on it. I can see a green dial and a yellow dial, and a red dial coming out in this model soon, definitely, and it will sell.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think they're going to do a different sizes, and then I think they're definitely going to be experimenting with color. One thing that I really liked about this watch, but love to get your thoughts on it, was that the dial and indices, or the hands and indices, are completely different than the other Christopher Wards, aren't they? We're used to seeing the extremely sharp, almost razor-like hands on the Christopher Wards, and also the trident on the back of the second hand on the other Christopher Wards we've reviewed. But these indices and hands are completely different. What did you think of them? Like, because they're so different.
Yeah, I think they fit in really, really, really nicely, and they have done something slightly different. You just haven't just done a cop out and just put the same hands and the same bits on. They've actually thought about it and made it look, different. Along with a different kind of bracelet, they've made a totally different watch than what you used to seeing from Christopher Ward. They're just trying things differently now. There's so many watches out there they do, which, as I said, they use the same handset and the same indices and everything, but now they've just stepped out and they've changed. They've really upped the game, definitely.
Yeah, I totally agree. This is definitely it seemed a step up for them. I mean, I've always been a huge fan of their cases, and I think this is definitely a more refined. They have done dress watches before, but this seems like a more defined, more technically capable. It seems like there's been more engineering put into this particular case than some of their other cases that we're used to seeing. This is less industrial looking, like the Lightcatcher case. But one of the things that one of the things that surprised me, which was weird, was that the quick release, I was expecting it to be on the strap, but the quick release is on the watch itself, isn't it? What did that take you by surprise? Were you expecting that? Or?
It is a surprise at first. You just expect it. You look for it. The worst quick release. Oh, there it is. Yeah, definitely. Whether that obviously that's just because it's an integrated bracelet. Did you find it more fiddly then? Did you?
Yeah, it was a little bit fiddly to get. It wasn't fiddly to get the bracelet off. It's fiddly to get it back on. I think there's a little bit of a neck to it that you've got to.
Yeah, you kind of punch them and then kind of put it towards it and have to get the right angle. So yeah, what do you mean? Yeah, definitely. I mean, the watch at the moment he's on pre-order. I mean, I don't like it's anything to do with the issues with the Sellita factory, or whether they're just the demand for the watch. But you can't, it's going to be November before you can get one.
Yeah, I wonder how that issue with the Sellita factory that they got, was it a hurricane that got hit by, or they had some
tornado?
Tornado.
Yeah, it was a tornado. Yeah, and it wiped out the roof. So they think they are going to be back up and running by the end of August.
But yeah, it's wild. I mean, how many? They were probably doing many hundreds of movements a day or a week. So that who knows?
They were on holiday, but I imagine the automotive process it wouldn't stop making the movements. So yes, it 100%. I think it's going to affect the production. So it makes you wonder whether, if somebody's got a 12 and they're selling it, whether it's going to hold the value or go up in value because someone wants one and they want one now and they can't wait till November. Same with all the other models as well, whether they're going to hold the value or go up in value.
Yeah. So I suppose big question here is, would you buy one yourself?
When I got it the first time a few weeks ago, I thought I really like this. I think I would buy one if it was in the market. You know me, I don't go for that style of watch really. I'm more the military type watch, aren't I? But if I wanted a dress watch of this style, I think I would. I think I definitely would. I did definitely like it. Definitely a nice watch. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm not. It's not that they've done this style perfectly. It's just that I don't. It's not a style that I particularly like. I love Christopher Ward's dive watches and tool watches. I'm not completely sold for my own collection on integrated bracelet watch like this. But if I was, then I think this is. It's just a great option because. The PRX is a good watch, but this is really sort of dialing it up, and I think it's a really good price as well, around less than $2,000 for the titanium, and then you've got the stainless steel version as well. So I think it's a great price. It looks really cool. I would probably, I don't know, I would probably go for the I haven't seen the titanium. The metal one wasn't, the steel one wasn't. It was still quite light because the case is so thin. So maybe I would go for the stainless steel with the navy dial. Although I also like, this is the problem. I really appreciate when Christopher Ward do the COSC measurement on watches, but at the moment they reserve the COSC measurement movements for the bronze watches or like titanium in this case. They don't often put it in a new stainless steel watch. There's one or two that they do, but so yeah.
Well, yes, definitely a very good watch. So if you want one, head over to Christopher Ward and be prepared to wait, or have a look if you can pick one up on various sites if people put them up. But I haven't seen many on there on eBay, to be honest. I think people who are getting them are keeping hold of them because they like them, which is good. So head over to Sam's channel and have a look at his review and see what you think. And I'll catch you again soon. Goodbye.
Bye.